Station YouTube. I hope everybody is doing well, both physically as well as mentally. So today we're saying goodbye to 2022, and I'm going to do a digital review of Ben Reilly's Spider-Man. So fasten your seatbelts, let's roll the intro. Last one you saw was probably called Back Issue Spotlight. Now my review show is called, this is the first one, Comic Book Review Through the Drive-Thru, because they're like really quick. There's no substance to it. It's not good for you. Well, maybe that's going too far. Today we're going to talk about Ben Reilly's Spider-Man by J.M. DeMatteis. And we'll get to the credits, what credit is due in just a second here. So how I came about, why I decided I wanted to read this book is because of this one right here. I had to stretch a little bit. There we go. Spider-Man, The Lost Hunt by J.M. DeMatteis, where it talks about, if I remember correctly. Okay, so bear with me. So Peter's in Portland with Mary Jane. Mary Jane is pregnant. Love it. Love it. This is the Peter Parker that I need. So he's basically retired from being Spider-Man. It looks like Kraven the Hunter is back despite dying. And something's hunting him in Portland. So that might be, and I think this is a Ryan Brown cover because look, his name's on the gravestone. Great artist, Ryan Brown. So, so that reading this, knowing that there's a Ben Reilly book out there, I decided, well, you know what, instead of waiting just for issue 2, let me jump into the trade here and see what Mr. DeMatteis, probably the most underrated author out there, what he did with this series. So this collects issues 1 through 5, and DeMatteis is famous from not only Kraven's Last Hunt, but his run on Justice League International, which was my favorite comic book when I collected as a teenager. So, and then I have no experience with Ben Reilly, so this will be the first time I saw a little bit of Beyond, but I didn't read any of those issues. Spider-Man Beyond, or whatever it was called. Beyond, I don't. Maybe I did read one of them, because now I think there was a Miles Morales crossover, and I think I might have read that one, but I don't know what I read and what I heard from talking, but I didn't really get into it. So let's get into it now, okay? All right. So, the first thing that kind of, let's give credit where credit is due here. First off, this was given to me courtesy of Hoopla through Racine Public Library. And here we go. Ben Reilly Spider-Man, J.M. DeMatteis, writer, Dave Ballodine, artist, Israel Silva, colorist, VC's Joe Caramanga, letterer, Steve Scrooge, and Dave Stewart, cover artists. Oh boy, man, I just don't know about myself sometimes. And I think I said Ryan Brown did the cover. Oh no, that was The Last Hunt. Okay, Lost Hunter, whatever it's called. All right, so let's get into the book here. So the first thing that kind of got to me was, Ben Reilly has blonde hair, and I was like, you know what? He doesn't look that much like Peter. Kind of looks like Jenny Frizzett. No, I'm joking. My humor, man. I don't know. Anyway, so he has blonde hair. That kind of, I kind of like that. I like that he's very distinguished from Peter Parker, and basically he's like going over the past few years. I guess he was out there, doing some really interesting stuff that would make a great series that has nothing to do with Queens, where Spider-Man is, and just put him out there, let him do his thing. He's got the Spider-Man powers. It's all good, That's how I would prefer Ben Reilly. In this situation, though, he's kind of like, woe is me, and I love this part of it, is that, so that was, what was it, Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 130? Like, it was right around, the Jackal is the dude that brought in the Punisher. And then he also made a clone of Gwen Stacy, which was pretty cool. really playing with people, like everybody. I could just imagine reading it at the time, and everybody's wondering what the hell is going on here. And then they pay it off. It's a clone. And guess what, Peter? I made a clone of you too. And then they kill him. Allegedly, they kill Peter's clone. So whoever thought of this, whatever editor thought of, you know what would be interesting, but you know what would be cool if we brought back his clone. What if his clone didn't die? And then I know it goes, and I heard people like really complain about the Clone Saga because I think it went on too long. So he's basically, going over his past. He's pretty sad. He still has a lot of trauma because he wanted to be Peter Parker. He was Peter Parker, but he was basically denied that right of being Peter Parker, and he had to go out and be his own, like create his own identity, give up Aunt May. So just imagine, like, if you woke up and somebody else is taking over your life and they look just like you and no one knows the difference. I think that's probably explained a little bit better when he first comes back in the beginning of the Clone Saga, like what his motivations were of staying away. It's not really gone into here, but we get enough of it where we kind of get the gist of what Ben Reilly is feeling. And now he's taking over for Spider-Man because Peter and Mary Jane are headed out to Oregon. That's this book here. So they're headed out to Oregon to get away, to live out their life. She's pregnant. We're about to have Mayday. I believe that's her name. And Ben Reilly is going to take the mantle of Spider-Man of Queens, New York, the street level hero. So here we go. And then he runs into like all these classical villains that he's faced in the past. And all of a sudden they just kind of like disappear on him, or they turn out to be different than who they were supposed to be. And it's kind of like Clayface from Batman, where this thing is changing from one character to or one villain to another villain. And then DeMatteis does a really great job of bringing in the supporting characters. So we got Ashley Kafka, which I guess she's got a whole story by herself, like in the real continuity. But I really liked her character in this book. We have Edward Whelan. Vermin. Vermin was like, he had a very good role in Kraven's Last Hunt. And in this one, I really liked his role that he played here. We're kind of getting a supporting cast that's going to round out this series here. So we got Dr. Kafka, who is kind of like Peter's conscience. She's a person that Peter can talk to and give Peter some feedback. We got Whalen, who's supposed to be a buddy. And then we got another cat here. His name is John. Let me see if I could find John in here for you. So here's John. But then, as soon as John steps on, and John's a little off, but as soon as he steps on the scene, here comes a scorpion. Now he's got to fight the scorpion, but the scorpion's not who he thought he was going to be. And then we know something's up with John. Like, oh yeah, and then there's a mystery also going on too. So there's like the serial killer who keeps killing people that are using a dating app. So we got all this good stuff going on. I think it's really well written. And then when they, here comes Lady Octopus, but it turns out it's not Lady Octopus. And I don't want to spoil stuff too much here. The art is pretty good. And then, it goes to Kraven, who's dead. And they're like, okay, Kraven, you're dead. How the hell are you here? And then we find out, okay, it's like a Clayface type enemy named Spider-Side. And you guys might know who Spider-Side is. You might know who Dr. Kafka is. You might know, all the ins and outs of Edward Whelan. All these I don't own Spider-Side. First appearance, up 5,000%. No, I'm joking, guys. Don't fall into that. So yeah, he battles Spider-Side for the last two issues. We kind of get into who Spider-Side is, how he relates to Ben Reilly. We're pretty sure that Spider-Side is the serial killer. And then everything kind of wraps up, and unfortunately it ends with issue number 5. And that was pretty sad to me because I thought that there was a little bit more to the story. and I would like to see DeMatteis keep going. And unfortunately, it just kind of ended. And Ben Reilly went off into the sunset. So we got the Scotty Young variant, the Alex Maleev variant. We have Dan Jurgens drawing Spider-Man. It's okay. And let's see what else we got here. We got another variant cover. So I'm just looking at all the variant covers. I like this one right here by Dan Jurgens. All the different types of Ben Reilly. If you guys read this, let me know what you think. Or maybe, if you were a Ben Reilly fan, I think there's enough here. It's a pretty good story. The fact that it, if Spider-Side means something to you, it's probably worth checking out. Spider-Man's Last Hunt is out now. Issue 2 will be out next week. So I'm looking forward to reading that. And then for 2022, issue of the year has got to be Ice Cream Man, number 31. This might have been one of my favorite issues of all time. Great issue. Ice Cream Man usually does very good B+ work, in my opinion. I'm into the irony more than I'm into the horror. So, and it's not like I don't like horror. I do like horror books, but they're just not it's not my favorite genre. But the irony, I like that a lot. So, so we'll talk more about Ice Cream Man in the future. And the best series of the year? Do a Powerbomb by Daniel Warren Johnson. Man, I played Daniel Warren Johnson out this year. I was watching my Wonder Woman Dead Earth review, and I was like, come on, man. But see, that's what happens when you keep stacking the same artist, the same writer over and over again. So I'm kind of learning to kind of put some distance between them. So we got number 1, number 2. What is this? Number 3, possibly. Number 3, number 4, 5 right here. So, Nick Comic Culture sent me something very nice in the mail. Thank you so much, Nick Comic Culture. Make sure you check out his channel. So for 2023, I got some big plans for this channel. Let's see what would, first off, we're going to finish up Taki's Tale Season 2. But not before we have Season 3, because I like to do things in a real confusing manner. So we're going to do Season 3 of Taki's Tales, which is going to be, if it goes according to my plans, if it's what I envision it to be, it'd be pretty good. And then we'll have the season finale for Season 2, and possibly series finale. I just love that. How's the series finale going to be before? Well, you didn't watch Buffy, because Buffy ended Season 5, but then went on 2 more seasons. So, I'm just saying. How many times it Lost in? No, I'm messing around. Was that, that 6th season of Lost, was that even really, that the show was pretty much, anyway. And let's see what else we got going on here. So, I'm going to try to do more pre-production. I did a little bit more pre-production on this review. I'm not sure if it showed up or not. I might be able to throw in some pictures or something to make things more better. Going to try to do some more stuff on the backside, like tag these videos so that we could get more people to see them, and maybe do some better thumbnails as well. So we're going to try to do that in 2023. And then as far as comic book collecting, comic book reading, what do I hope to read in 2023? Well, Scott Snyder's Batman run is screaming to me, because I wanted to get to it this year and I didn't, and I have read it in the past, but now I want to read it with a little bit more experience. So I want to get there. I want to do a milestone reread sometime this year. I want to do reviews on Do a Powerbomb now that it's over with. Ice Cream Man is definitely, a book that I think one of my favorite books from last year was Ice Cream Man. I can't remember what the number was, but it was the one with the ghost on the cover. I love that issue. But some of my books from last year, Batman Imposter, and what was the other one? It was the one that Sleepy Reader recommended, and I can't remember the name of it. Oh well. But I really liked that book, and those two were pretty much ignored. Eden was the name of the book. It was Eden by the guy who writes all the books. Not Daniel Warren Johnson. Come on, man. Clayton Crane? No, dude. That's the dude that sleep with all the people, all the sellers' wives. It's Clayton Crane. Who are you talking about, man? You're talking about the dude that writes all the books. Cullen. All right, here we go. Cullen Bunn is his name. So it was written by Cullen Bunn. Eden. It was out by, can't remember the publisher. I'm going to say, can't remember the publisher. So the publisher, Source Point? No. Anyway, so Eden by Cullen Bunn. Maybe in post-production, I'll put a picture up here for you. Those books were ignored, and the year before that, We Live was ignored by all the top 10, top 20 lists and all that good stuff. This year, I really enjoyed Firepower. I thought Firepower had a really, really strong year. And I'm kind of not being man, my English teacher would give me a D+ on my little rant here at the end, because I'm going all over the place, which is it's a rant ramble. Yeah, but we're going to try to do some more stuff on the channel, do more reviews. Maybe next year I might even have my top 10 best books I read as opposed to the ones that came out, because sometimes they go by the wayside. I was telling you guys what I thought. Radiant Black, the Kyle Higgins Radiant Black is great. The rest of it, wait for it to come up in the dollar bins. If you want to be a completionist, I'm okay. I'll just do Radiant Black. And then this year I have to make a real tough decision. Am I just doing cover A's, or am I going to do all the covers, or what are we doing here? So, and DC has made that really easy because they're priced pretty high. So you pretty much have to pick one or the other. Anyway, guys, I think I ranted longer than the actual review itself. So that's what I got for you guys this week. Thank you so much for watching. The music is by LS Beats. My intro is by Moan Media. Like I always say, make sure you check out the show notes. If you're looking for great comic book content, there's a lot out there. There's going to be a lot more. And let me tell you this. You see what I'm doing here? I'm just showing you the books that I've picked up, my hauls. I'm just telling you guys what I read. You make some great content. Let me know about it. I like to check it out. Until next time, take it easy, guys. Peace.